My name is Julian Perez-Duerto. That's my preferred name. I go by he or they pronouns. I identify as genderqueer. I was born and raised in Caracas, Venezuela, and I came to Canada in 2005, so I've been here for quite a long time now. I'm a Canadian citizen. My high school years were not the best in comparison to university. I was very isolated. During high school time, I would see other girls' bodies and I would go, oh, like she's hot. But he's also hot. But she's hot. So if I were to pick, I can't pick. I have a lot of things in me that are invisible, that people don't see. The first thing is I'm a drag queen. The other thing is that I have hyperactivity disorder. I have anxiety disorder. And I'm bisexual. And I'm trans-identified. And I look white when I dress masculine, and I look Latin American when I dress feminine. That's my experience. My experience in the world is that. I always fought my mom. My mom would say to me, you have to wear the dress. I would say, no, I'm not wearing the dress. I look so privileged. I look able-bodied. I look, quote unquote, beautiful. I don't identify as beautiful, but the world sees me as beautiful for some reason. That's my gender dysphoria. I had an eating disorder that I had to fight. I had bulimia. I love Canada still. I love Canada because with Canada I was able to find my own identity. I would have never been able to do that in my country. I came to Canada and all of a sudden I am no longer Venezuelan. I am this exotified Venezuelan person only for the pleasure of the cisgender heterosexual white male to look at me. Oh, you're exotic. You're so sexy. Getting harassed for it. That made me go, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. By the time that that's happening, I went into university. I finally made it into university. And in university, I took gender and women's studies. And I saw this documentary about trans guys. And one of them was androgynous, identified as androgynous or something. And I said to myself, that's me. Is that me? So I had a lot of 1 year thinking about that in my mind. And I said, I'm just going to go to the queer community and maybe I'm gay. Because I thought that gender and sexuality was the same thing. So I went to the 519. Then I chopped all my hair. I shaved it completely. And I started wearing masculine clothes. And I went all the way to being a trans guy. I found myself a name, Julian. That's my preferred name. I haven't changed my name legally. But my mom said to me, maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Why don't you just accept it? So I accepted it and I started exploring that more. And that's where I am today. I feel like I'm genderqueer. I understand that it's a fluid thing. I have to accept it. I have to find a way to love it and explore it even more and find out that I can when am I going to transition socially in terms of changing my name legally. Hopefully one day I'll get the opportunity to reduce the size of my chest. It's what is called gender dysphoria. I'm still learning about that term and what it means for me. I struggle with it so much. I look at myself in the mirror and I go, oh my God, if I could just fix this, if I could just fix that, then it'd be perfect. So that's where the eating disorder comes, the bulimia, I'm fat, my boobies are huge, they feel huge, but they're not huge. Some of the things that happen to me is that I look at a picture and I go, oh my God, it's difficult. And it makes me feel ashamed. Like, why can't I love myself the way I should? Why can't I? if I have so much privilege, you know, I look privileged, I have light skin, I look white, I can pass as a female, I can go to the girl bathroom. Why is this so difficult? Why is it so difficult for me to love myself? And the queer community has taught me that I can explore who I am without judgment and how to navigate mainstream society. Mainstream society is very harsh, especially in retail. I've had my series of difficulties in retail jobs. I am no longer going back to retail jobs. I cannot allow myself to be hurt anymore. The queer community has taught me that I can explore who I am and tune in who I really am through art. So I started performing, I started doing talent shows. And then I would go to myself, wait a minute, but when I was a kid, I used to draw stuff in my face. Why don't I just draw that? And so I started exploring characters. My first character was Margarita. And Margarita is a Venezuelan intersexed beauty. Then I invented this character called Ladyboy Sparkle. So that character, I give it a lot of room. You know, she can be super sexual one day, she can be super innocent and sexual. Her main thing is to be super sexual. She's sexualized. One of the things that I did with that character was I raised awareness about her disability of having hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and how medication troubles her. So when she's doing a show, she falls asleep in the middle of the show. And then she wakes up and goes, oh my God, I fell asleep. I call it a disorder because it really is, your life without medication is like really hardcore. With medication, you know, it's more stable. This is Ladyboy Sparkle in all her vulnerability. So this is me as Ladyboy Sparkle. These are all the things that females often hear. Don't report abuse, lose weight, augment your breasts. It's your fault he touched you. So that's Ladyboy Sparkle's internal organs talking, I guess. I don't know why I wrote some of the things that I wrote, but I just wrote them. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it, that it's completely unfiltered. Through Ladyboy Sparkle, I was able to explore Mr. Pepper. Because Mr. Pepper is the opposite of her. Mr. Pepper is arrogant. He's egocentric. He feels like he is the top of the world. But in reality, he's unemployed. He gets fired a lot. He's androgynous. He's genderqueer. He's bisexual. He's super feminine. And he's a police officer. He's really just ridiculous. He's ludicrous. So he's really masculine in his behavior, but he looks feminine. Mr. Pepper in particular is about activism around those who are consistently fired. In my drag shows, I always try and play, you know, where's the innocent, beautiful thing about the character that people can connect with and identify with? And also have that other side of them that makes it difficult for them to move on in their lives. One of the things I've learned in therapy is drawing. One of my therapists said to me, why don't you write down, have a journal? So I started drawing it instead. So what I do is I draw things that are in my mind. I don't filter what I draw, I just draw. And I've been drawing for years, but no one knows about it up until now. This is my hair talking. If my hair could talk, then this would be what my hair would be saying. Often my information is in my hair. So the hair talks for me. It's not me, it's something else. This is my sadness of how difficult it is to be me in a world where I cannot be me. So suicide, this is another taboo that I talk about, you know, suicide attempts or suicide thoughts or suicide things that people experience. My job right now is I work at Georgetown College and I am an upstander facilitator for sexual violence prevention. What my idea is to either speak on behalf of other folks in the community that don't have a voice. That's not the best way to do activism, but that's the best I can do at the moment. So I speak a lot on behalf of intersex folks. I like to focus on things that people rarely talk about. ADHD, mental health, taking medications, eating disorders, disability in general. Things that are invisible to the eye, which is mainly what my life is all about. My characters have pushed me to talk about the importance of art and speaking to the universe and self-help and loving one another and not judging one another. And always, the good thing about my characters is my characters are always trying. There's always hope in them. They're always trying. No matter what happens, no matter what the conflict is, they're going to continue to do it. And that's why I'm a drag queen. Drag queen. Even though Mr. Pepper is a male character, I'm a drag queen, mainly.